What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cover Band Central official podcast number 204 for Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. I'm Steve Witchell in New Orleans.
Yeah, Tony B coming to you from New Jersey. What's happening?
Tony Beach, just
Tony
fresh off
Beach,
off of the LBI week vacation
fresh
annual.
back from my annual vacation and fully refreshed.
Yes. If anybody follows Tony on social media, you can't do that. He's
No,
not
you can't do that, but
on social media.
if you
But
wish you could.
if anybody follows his wife on social media, you could see epic pictures of his sandcastle city that he builds.
Mega castle.
Do you refer to it as like a town or a city, or what is your reference to it?
No, it's more like a kingdom.
Kingdom. That's the word. That's the
It
word.
is a kingdom, Steve.
It is a kingdom for sure. It
Because
has
it's the
castles
sand,
and
castles
moats.
and kingdoms and moats, and it's kind of Aztec-y Mayan theme this year. It just turned out that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of fun. Really good. The most epic,
Yes.
I'd say the footprint of the sandcastle was probably 40 by 40,
Right.
like 40-foot wide by 40-foot deep.
Just incredible.
It was big.
Gilly, right off the bat, we're getting Raz. Can you speak English? It was probably me mumbling something. So I don't know.
No, referring to
But
the kingdoms or the villages, or maybe that's what they're talking about.
yeah, I don't know.
Speak
But
English.
yeah, thanks, Gilly. She's laughing now.
You old village.
So yeah, we've been off for a few weeks. You were on vacation and stuff. A lot of stuff has happened.
A lot of stuff going
And
on.
I got to start with this right off the bat. You see the icon maybe in the corner there. Get into
Yeah,
the
I like
show.
that.
So I kind of told you about this, that I was going to do something a couple of weeks ago, and I completely pivoted on my original idea, and I went to this idea because I see it so often that musicians are having challenges knowing how to promote themselves online, specifically on Facebook. I see it every single day in the Cover Band Central group. Tony, there's 66,000 people that are worldwide, and people come in there every day and say, hey, we're playing in Poughkeepsie on Saturday.
Sure.
And that's a group of musicians that don't live in Poughkeepsie, most likely. Maybe there's a few that live in Poughkeepsie, but out of 66,000 people,
A majority of them are not coming to the show.
it's not your target audience. So I put this all together because I've been doing this for a long time, dude, and I've learned a lot of things. I've made a lot of mistakes. So I put this together. It's a micro course ebook. It's called Get 'em to the Show. There's a link in the description here. You can check it out now if you like. And it's really a comprehensive guide on how to promote yourself on social media, how to build your audience, how to get people interested in your event, and how to get them to come. And also, that will help you make more money. When you get more people to your show, more people are spending money at the bar, you're more valuable to that venue. You're going to make some more money. So it's cheap, dude. $7, and people, if you get it, you get a 60-day guarantee to use it. Go through it. Go through the steps. Do those things, and if nothing changes in 60 days, I will gladly give you your money back. But I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, because this is the stuff that works. This is the stuff that I've done. This is the stuff that successful bands out there do, as far as building your audience online, getting interest, engaging. And I put it step by step. You just follow those steps and do it. And then once you learn how to do it, you're going to know. You're just going to know the deal, and you're going to be able to do it all the time. So please check that out. The link is in the description.
Yeah, and $7 is like a cup of coffee and a donut. So I mean, that
Yeah.
perishes within an hour.
Right.
This
Yeah.
lasts you, years of wisdom here.
Yeah. As long as there's Facebook, as long as it operates the way it does, this is going to work. It's what I do. I built the audience, Cover Band Central, to 750,000 people plus now, all by myself, by the way. And, it took, 10 years to get it to that number, but it's not likely that you're going to get to 750,000 followers on your band page unless you're really famous. But you'll get much further than you would just on your own, just posting willy-nilly,
Absolutely.
if that's still an expression.
Willy-nilly.
Does that make me sound old? Willy-nilly.
Helter-skelter-ish. Kind of, instead of just being all chaotic and
Yeah. So,
Good
it's a
Lord.
plan. It's like, and you and I talk about it a lot about just achieving anything in life. And you're much better than I am about just having a plan, executing that plan, and seeing the results. And that's what you could do with this. I did really put a lot of thought into it, and I made sure that it's easy for everybody to understand. And just they're really simple things. They're not nothing that's going to cost you money, nothing that's going to take a whole lot of time. It's just a system. And it took me, yeah, 750,000 plus in 10 years, but it took me, 5 or 6 years to really get it down, to really get down the whole system and how it works and what works. And since then, I've grown it exponentially. Last year at this time, it was half, it was like 380,000.
Hmm.
So I mean, doubled in a year, which is nuts. So anyway,
The
I'm
thing
not going to
too.
ramble about the book this whole hour, but it's great. I think it's great. I think you'll love it. I think it will definitely help you. It's a good read too. Link is in the description. Check it out. Get them to the show. Get people to your gigs, people.
Well, I would just close by saying if you have a plan, it gives you confidence because you have a map that you can
Confidence, yes.
follow and you can confidently move forward knowing that you're executing on your plan. When you don't have a plan, and you may not always have a plan with everything in life, right? Sometimes you got to be spontaneous, you got to pivot, you got to go to plan B. But when you lay out at least a course of action and you try to follow it, it gives you an inner sense of confidence because you're not so much flying by the seat of your pants and feeling like, oh, not quite sure what the next move is, or I hope I'm doing this right, or there's some uncertainty there, and I'm going to try this. And that's important to do those things in life, right? But you don't want to go every step of every day that way. And like I said, I think this is a great tool that can help people to have, and not everyone needs that confidence, but if you're looking for that and you're looking for a better way to market your band, by having a plan and following the steps in this, I think if nothing else, it gives you the confidence to then take it to the next level in many other areas too because you have a plan.
Yeah, that's it. It really does build your confidence, and when you start seeing it happen, and people are coming, more people are coming to your shows. It's just more exciting. It's more fun to play when there's a lot of people in the room.
Yeah, and you may
It's
find out which tactics work better for you and your band, right? And then, like you said, then you can use your creative, ingenuity to pivot and utilize that trajectory of your social media, because there's so many avenues you can go in it.
Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error that happens. But again, I went through a lot of the mistakes I've made. So I'm giving you a shortcut, so you don't have to make those
It's
same
giving you a
mistakes that I made.
mistake-free plan.
Mistake free plan, right? Well, you'll make mistakes too, and I say that in the book too. It's not, sometimes you're going to get frustrated. Sometimes you're going to be like, "What the fuck? This isn't working." Um, but you have. It's about perseverance. It's about building and building and building and keeping it going. I bet it works. It works every time. So get the book. Link is in the description. Jilly, now it's Jilly. She yelled at me she said, "Oh, for fuck's sake, it's Jilly with a G." I mean, it could be
Gotcha.
Gilly. Gilly could be Gilly, right?
If you're
Wasn't
pronouncing
that
it
the
right.
bar in Mickey Gillies or something in
Could have been. It wasn't
Urban
Mickey
Cowboy?
Gillies, I know that, it was Mickey Gillies. That was also a last name, though. So, I mean, I guess you could see, I suspect she's from the UK or overseas because I know they spell Jill with a G
Yeah, I
overseas,
don't know.
not here.
I don't know. Maybe she'll tell us.
It's all good.
Um,
Welcome aboard, Jill.
George is here from Chicago. What's up,
Gorge,
George? Always comes by. Leo's always here too. He's in Minnesota. Leo got the book, and Jackie just simply
because
said,
Leo's making a
"Yeah."
plan, that's why he's got the book.
Leo's got the plane. He knows the deal. So I thought, since we were away for a few weeks, we would revisit something that's one of our favorite things to do on this show. Ask about your embarrassing moments on stage, and I think we've done this already twice, Tony. I think we've
Yeah,
done
this might
this.
be the 3rd time.
Yeah.
We have gone
So
through it.
maybe it should be an annual thing, like the first show after your LBI
Will
vacation
will be embarrassing things that
will
happen on
be the
stage.
embarrassing moments on stage. So I
Okay.
put up the question yesterday or a couple days ago, maybe.
Mhm.
I think it was yesterday, and on the Cover Band Central Facebook page, and got 400 responses. Um, so we're going to go through them. We're going to scroll through them and see what we can relate to and what we can
See
talk
what we
about.
can find, Steve, out in our world of musicians
Right.
and their
Mm.
experiences along the journeys of playing gigs live in front of a live audience.
These things, I apologize, Leo, because I saw this comment just come up, and the spam that comes through on Facebook and she's doing it to George now too. The bot. It's a
Mm,
spam. You see it?
yeah.
Yeah, it happens on my page every single day, and it's unreal to me that Facebook is not filtering this stuff out better.
Hmm.
It's. I mean, I speak
Well,
very
it looks
highly of
very
Facebook.
it looks very tactful the way they have.
It's just a bot.
Yeah,
It's
but I'm saying
something.
it's very,
Yeah,
you
they
would think
try.
they would see the genericness of it though, because I'm sure they're sending out hundreds of these a day.
Yeah,
So
it shows up every day under different names, and I
yeah,
block the name and the user every single time, and it doesn't matter. They're like roaches. You see one of them, there's like a thousand of them. Um, seriously, and
it's
so,
the ones you can't see, Steve, that you got to worry about.
and so I apologize to you guys for that coming up, and I try to stay on top of it as much as I can. And as soon as I see it, I delete it. I block the user, but it is just every day. It's stomping bugs.
Mm.
And it's really shouldn't be happening on Facebook. They should be much better with their security. Anyway, so all right, let's
Bug
go to it.
bug
All right,
hunt.
let me show you first because I didn't put this up just to because I really do love this and I really think it'll help and just it'll be a good example showing you the question asking what are the embarrassing things that have happened to you with the amount of responses you get and how much engagement that is and how much of a benefit that is for you. So I'll just go show it real quick. The page here, when you click on the link, this is what you go to, and it tells you a little bit about it, and you can make the payment right there and the download right there. And again, it's only $7.
Mm.
So $7 and a money back guarantee. Let me scroll up here so you can see all that. Satisfaction guaranteed,
100%, baby.
100%. So, and a little quote, a testimonial from Mike Schulte, and he was kind enough. I asked Mike to if he would say something about me and Cover Band
Yeah,
Central.
what does
And
he know about social media?
Mike Schulte is the Pork Tornadoes, and he's one of the best cover bands in the country.
I
All
know I
right.
say that jokingly because he's a master uh, social media poster.
Yes. Yes. So let's get to the topic, and I gotta get it up here real quick. All right. I made it nice and big so we can all see it. I think. Should I take us out? Let's
One
see.
major, sure, you could take us out so we can see
Does that make it
the
better?
audience never gets tired of our handsome faces, Steve. However, we need to give them a break.
Right. All right. So I just discovered that I can do that. By the way,
Excellent.
I don't know if it's new. That's a new thing, but and Leo, just to keep touting this, but Leo said it's worth more than $7.
Yeah.
More than worth it for $7. He said so. Get yourself the book. Um, so here we go. What is one major embarrassing thing that you've had happen at a gig? I have not read through these at all. So we're going to read through them together. Is
All
this big enough? Can
right.
you see this on the
Oh yeah,
screen? Because
I can see it fine. Yeah, it's perfect.
once we get to the comments,
Yep.
let's see if the comments show up nice. Let's see. You can see those? Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So what do we got? Chris Whitehouse at the end of a song I heard someone shout out, "Show us your foreskin." Not really an embarrassing moment.
Best heckle ever, though. That's good.
Best heckle ever. This is one of my favorite embarrassing things on stage. I love it when it happens to other people, even when it happens to me. But Russell Wyatt said, "New guitarist played the chorus of Simply Red Stars a semitone out."
Mm.
Oof. So yeah, but I love out of tuneness. I think it's so funny when it happens. When it happens like so glaringly out of tune. Did you ever see that? There's a video out there. You probably didn't see it because I'll take this out for a second. But on social media, because it was like a church function, and a guy's playing keyboards, and it's a pretty sort of churchy song, and there's a guy in the foreground or the background, I said, I mean, that's playing guitar, and then kind of sitting next to him is this guy playing uh, a, a brass instrument. I forget what it is now. It's like a trump. No, it wasn't trombone. Trumpet, maybe. Anyway, it's nice. Starts with the keyboard. It's very pretty, but and this guy comes in and he's just so badly out of tune, and he's trying. He's just like so close, but it's so bad. And you see the expression on the guy who's playing keyboards. He's like, oh, like what's going on? And he's trying to hold it because I think it was at like a church or something, and he's just trying to keep it cool. And then the guitar player is like kind of tapping him to stop playing, and he does not paying attention at all. He just
And just
keeps
keep
playing.
going, just going,
Uh,
yeah. It's like when a guitar player starts the song in the wrong key.
it's
And
wonderful.
then
It's one
everyone's
of
gonna
my
come in the right key, and it's like, "Heads up, dude, you're about to get reprimanded very quickly because the rest of the band is gonna come in, and you're gonna be the odd man out."
it's one of my favorite things. So that's a good embarrassing moment.
It's favorite things if as long as it's not happening to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It's still funny, but okay. So he said that's embarrassing. Uh, Alain Kubert. I don't know the singer.
Elaine.
Elaine. That's how you say that, Elaine. Yeah, people spell their names differently these
Yes, they
days.
do, man. It's not Alia Alien. Alien. Alain.
When I was a kid, I thought Joel was Joel.
Joel. Oh, Joel,
Yeah,
Joel.
because I was a kid, and that's how I learned, you know, English. All right. Elaine said the singer getting on the stage so drunk that it took two people to help him up and breaking his guitar at the second song. We were to play 27 songs. The gig was organized by my boss. Oh,
Oh, excellent.
so Elaine's boss organized this gig, and Elaine said, "I am a band. I can play, this thing,
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We play some
you
Billy
know,
Joel.
or." And the singer got on stage too drunk. Got on stage too drunk.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
means he
that's
was
rough.
pre-gaming way too hard and arrived at the gig ready to go, but the window had already shut on him. He was
And then
past the
break
window.
and then breaking his guitar. So
Maybe he
that's
did it like
that's
Pete Townsend style, those second songs. So at least he went out with style. Maybe he realized he wasn't going to make the duration of the gig, and he decided to find an exit, like Mike Tyson biting Holyfield's ear off.
oh god.
Desperate measures. Desperate times call for desperate measures, Steve.
Right. Uh okay. TJ Furtado, my birthday 20 years ago, for my birthday, 4-hour gig. Last break, standing out back of the club with bandmates and some friends. I'm offered a double shot of Jack Daniels. Hell yeah, it's my birthday. Then offered really good smoke. Heck yeah. Back on stage for last set, and I had no idea how any songs went and had to keep asking my mates, how does this go again? Songs I had played 1,000 times, smack my head, shake my head. And that was the story of how I never imbibed at a gig since. Well, okay, see there, that was a good learning
That's good.
experience for
20,
you.
20 years ago, so he learned his lesson.
Yeah, on his birthday. So it's very memorable.
Well, no way out of that, right? Like you're on stage and you're in trouble.
Mm.
How about the one before that where the guy introduces keyboard player?
Yeah. The singer was introducing each member of the band, and just before he introduced our keyboard player, some guy yelled, "Hey, play Freebird," and our singer said, "And on the keyboards instead
Ah,
of
very
keyboards."
clever, clever.
That's something that. How do you say that name? Mikey? And Mikey?
Uh, Anna McKee Anna
Okay.
McKee.
All right. Said just happened last week. I packed a set of spare strings for my acoustic guitar, and when I had to change them, I realized I accidentally took a set of strings for electric guitar.
Hmm.
So
Sounded, well, let's just say interesting. Nice. The band showed up.
band showed up. Eddie said, "Embarrassing moment was the band showed up." That's funny. uh, oh, that's rough. Daryl said, "Sang a whole song before I realized I'd been pranked. Another band member had switched off my mic." So he's
Excellent.
singing his heart out on this mic that's not plugged in, not turned on. Rebecca fell off the stage, trying to step off the stage, not far off the ground. Forgot my monitor was on the floor, and my foot hit the monitor and had me flying through the crowded dance floor. A couple dancers saved me and helped me up. Didn't miss a beat, kept singing, went back on stage. One band member didn't even notice that she fell.
Ah.
Yeah, that's good. So that's the important thing, Rebecca, is when you're when something goes wrong on stage, you have to just keep going and act like nothing happened.
That's it. Just keep on going like it was part of the show. Thank
Yeah.
you for our next trick.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Let's keep going. What do we got? I keep losing the tab. Keep in mind, people, there's 412 comments here, so we could be here
so
for a while.
Yeah, if we're definitely not getting to all 400.
Unless you want to just go on the Cover Band Central Facebook page and read it for yourself. You can do that too.
You could also scroll through, Steve, and find the most exciting ones. This guy's got a finger.
I could. I mean, I'm trying to talk and read them at the same time, which is not easy.
Yeah, yeah.
And drink wine.
Overprepared, this guy. Yeah, so it seems to be a common thing of too much pregame before the gig.
Right. Yeah, this guy's thumb was bleeding. Overprepared. That's a funny way to characterize it. I'm not drunk. I'm overprepared.
Yeah, this guy's a bit altered. Tony Flores. Brian Barber left his drumsticks at home. Oof. Fell off the back of the riser. That's
two drummer ones in a row there.
Yeah. Yep. Here's one. My drummer, who was pretty hammered at the time, started the snare roll at the end of the guitar solo during the song Starseed by Our Lady Peace.
Oh, great song.
Once he started the snare roll, he couldn't get out of it in time, so he just kept going and going, yelling, "I can't stop." He finally just stopped and four counted us back in. There were many confused onlookers.
Yeah, there you go.
Teodoros is forgetting the lyrics of a song he wrote.
That happens to the top artists. That's why they use teleprompters.
Penny Lane accidentally bumped a pre-programmed drum track on my keyboard in the middle of Copperhead Road that I could not hear through my monitor.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough, man. When you can't hear it,
you can't hear it, so you don't even know it's playing. That's my favorite one so far. That I would like to have been here to see that expression on that person's face.
Last year, I got a multi-effects pedal, and I had never really used one. I'm a bass player. I'd never really used one.
Right. Yep.
And it's fun. It's a great one. It's a Roland or the Boss, or I don't even know. I just know that it works.
It just makes noise.
But it works great. And there's a thing on there where you can loop, and you got to press these two. There's 3 buttons. There's 3, like foot switches, and they're small. They're squares. They're like, 2 inches by 2 inches, maybe, or 3 inches by 3 inches. They're small. And so in order to get the loop to start recording, you press these 2 at a time. There's only 3, and you got to press the 2 on the right at a time. So there was a bunch of times this happened where the button on the right I use for my chorus. If I want chorus on the bass, I have it set to that. So there's been times when instead of just hitting that button, I hit the one next to it too, and it started recording whatever I was playing. And I'm in mid-song, with a live band, and I'm like, and it was a new pedal for me, so I was like, I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know how long it's going to record, and when it stops recording, is it going to just start playing what I just played? And then pure panic. And it happened a bunch of times. So there was times when I pressed the right button and it just stopped and everything. I was like, oh, okay, good. And then there were times when I pressed a thing where it just started and replayed what it just recorded. And now it's completely out of time. And I'm playing along with and just disastrous. But luckily, those times it happened, barely anybody even noticed. And I caught it in time. But what I would do, since I didn't know, if I didn't know what to do, I would just lean down and unplug it and then replug it back in and let it load back up. So it was
Well, we had a time when our keyboard player left the band. He got a national gig opportunity, so he said, "Listen, I'm going to take this. I think it'd be good for me. But I'm going to leave the band." And we were in full swing of touring as well. So we said to him, "Well, listen, I'm going to need you to sequence all your keyboard parts for all the songs to a click. So this way
hmm
we can play live and still have the keyboards, right? I'll play to a click, and we'll just have to sequence it." So he did that, and he got all his parts down, and it worked great. So we get this bright idea one night to say, like, hey, instead of this one song where it stops and I do like a 4 bar break or an 8 bar break, and then it goes right back into the song again, my guitar player says at the beginning of that section, I'm going to stop the sequencer, do like an extended drum solo for, a minute or however long you want to do it, 2 minutes. And then when you're ready to come back in, do the fill that brings us back in again. And I'll hit the thing and the click, we'll start clicking and we'll come right back in again.
right. Sounds
This is
like it'll
great.
work.
So we play along, everything's great, right? Come to that part, bam, bam, ba doom, doom, ba, and he stops the click, and I do my solo, and I come back in, I'm bringing it back in, 2, 3, 4. We come in on the downbeat, and he re-clicks the click, and for some reason, the click is in the right spot, but the sequencer is not connected anymore. It somehow got disconnected from the synchronization of the click. So
Oh boy.
instead of going da-na-na, da-na-na, it's going ba-da-ba-bam, it's like it's supposed to be like 1 and 2, and it's like 4 and 1, and it's like 3 and 4, and that
Oh my God.
went on for about like 15 seconds before we all realized like this is not working, and then he just had to abort mission and just turn the sequencer off, and we just jammed out the rest of it without the keyboard.
That's what you got to do for not musicians or people who aren't musicians have never experienced something like that. There is no other feeling of panic that compares to that. And that 15 seconds feels like 15 years when it's happening. Like,
Yeah, and for the first 5 to 7 seconds, you don't realize what's happening. You're like, wait a minute,
right.
why are all these hits not lining up? And the band's doing one thing, and the hits are somewhere else. And then you realize that now it's not just off like sequentially; it's off like in a random pattern. It's not like off a measure. You know what I'm saying? Where you could like somehow flip the time around and get back to one. It wasn't landing on the one anymore. It was in some random like discombobulated pattern. So we just had to abort mission on that.
That is the worst feeling on stage when you're in train wreck and like you're trying to save it and there's no saving it, and it just there's no other.
No, and especially when the track is a huge synth keyboard track that's carrying the whole song, and then you stop it and it's gone,
Right.
and it just
But
sounds
I
like
mean, that was
ham
the thing to
radio.
do at the
Yeah, you had
time
to.
was
Yeah,
to
there was no
stop
other
it.
way. There was no other way to salvage it.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back.
Good
What do we got?
times. Good times.
Good times. What do we got? Um, it's hard to read all these long ones because we're on the audio podcast. By the way, yeah. Before we continue on this, let's take a break for the audio podcast. We'll be right back.
All right.
All right. So play it again. What's it takes for night? It's hard to read all these and talk. That's a talent I don't have.
Well, one you just missed was the guy said that his band went and they played the gig, and after the gig they went to the B&B and they booked it for the wrong weekend. So the owner was like,
Oh,
"Leave now," and they had to sleep on the open air stage that they had just played on.
oh, that's kind of cool.
He said,
That's
"Cold and
not
uncomfortable, but very rock and roll. Wouldn't change it for a minute." Steve Mann, like that. That's a good one.
that's not embarrassing though. That's kind of cool. It's like being at band camp.
There you go. Every member of the band started a different song after the drummer counted us in. Beautiful disaster. We
And they
survived.
survived. How did they survive? Let's see. There's a reply here. The song was "Beautiful Disaster,"
Or
or
the
the situation
situation was.
was. I'm sure it was the situation. Charlie Ward simply said, "I've played." That's embarrassing to him for some reason. Uh, yeah, that's happened to me. Something like that so many times. David said, it's usually something to do with technical difficulties. One instance was a big show opening for a national act, and I forgot to take the amp out of standby mode. There were a few panic seconds with no guitar in the first song coming right out of the gate until I realized what the problem was. Yeah. Yeah, I've certainly done that. Tried to, started a gig and my amp's not on or something like that.
Plugged in my
Uh,
tuner pedal backwards, no sound, lots of stress.
uh, Trace singing back up in an unplugged in amp. Oh, just unplugged an amp with her foot or something, probably. That happens to me all the time. My amp gets unplugged. Um,
Started singing one song while the band started playing a completely different one. Kind of fit together. It's like a smash up.
Joseph said one night at a club I was playing, and I met a hottie, and I was ordering drinks for her, running a tab. At the end of the night, the owner refused to pay us, so I had to pay out of my own pocket. And needless to say, the hottie wasn't impressed. Why would the owner refuse to pay you? What happened?
Yeah, so
That's what I want to know.
yeah, we need to get the extended version of that.
Like, you can't play a gig and then I've never played a gig where at the end of the night the owner was just like, "Nah, sorry,
Oh,
no,
I
it's
I
not happening."
I did. So, real quick sidebar story. So I played a gig where it was with a real heavy band, right? It was a cover band, but they played all heavy songs: Nine Inch Nails, White Zombie, Soundgarden, heavy stuff. We had sequencers, really hip, great band. So we played this club, and it's like an upscale club, and there was a lot of people there, but they didn't like the type of music that we were playing, right? So the end of the night comes, and I have my giant drum set at the time. I brought like the mega set, not the giant mega set behind me, but close to it. So we get to the end of the night, and same thing. I go up to the bar before I start breaking down. I said to the guy, you got to pay us, and it was like $800, right? And the guy's like, "Yeah, the owner's only willing to give you like $500. Says you didn't play good music, and he's not paying you." So I
Oh,
said,
you didn't play good music?
"Yeah." So I said, "Well, I'm sorry, the music wasn't his liking, but he still has to pay us the $800. So you got to get him on the phone because I'm not leaving until we get paid." So he's like, "Yeah, the guy's not paying you." And I said, "Well, then you're gonna have to call the cops because I'm not breaking down my drums and I'm not taking anything apart until I get paid." So the guy's like, "No, you can't do that." I said, "Sure I can." I said, "I have to break my stuff down and you have to wait here until I'm done." So call the owner and get him on the phone. Get the guy on the phone. He's like, Russian guy. He's like, "You play horrible music. I not pay you." Click. Right. So the guy's
Ooh.
like, "I told you he's not going to pay you." So I said, "Well, you got to call him back because you got to tell him I'm not leaving." So the guy gets back on the phone and the guy's talking to him. He's like, he's not leaving until he gets paid. So the guy's like, "I'll give you $600. Like that's all I will give you." And and you come to my office tomorrow and we'll talk about the rest. And I said, "No, we're not doing that." I said, "You're going to pay me the $800 tonight, right now, and then I will start breaking my stuff down and then I will leave." And he's like, "You will break your stuff down now and leave." Click, hangs up. So I just sit back down again in the chair and I said to the guy, I'm like, "You got to deal with your boss, man. I don't know what his problem is, but like he's hanging up on me. I'm not leaving until I get paid. I'm not taking my stuff down. You guys are going to sit here with me all night till tomorrow if we have to." So now the guy's getting a little frustrated, the bar manager guy, because he just, he wants to close up. And I still like the band's almost all broken down and I haven't even started taking my stuff apart yet. And I got at least
Right.
an hour and a half till I'm out of there. Long story short, it was the night before Thanksgiving, right? Big night, right? So we go and the guy gets on the phone. He's like, this is now an hour and 15 minutes after we started this journey, right? Like I'm sticking to
Hmm.
my guns. Like, you're paying us. We're not leaving without the money.
You got some balls, man.
Yeah. So
Like,
then
I mean,
the
yeah.
guy gets back on the phone. He's like, he goes just like this. He goes, "I am going to say to you, do not say one word. I am going to speak. You will not speak." So I don't speak, right? He says, "Your band plays horrible music. You are a piece of shit. Your mother is whore. I will pay you the $800, but you can go fuck yourself." Click.
Ooh.
Bar guy,
Wow.
bar guy goes into the register, pulls out the $800, hands it to me, and says, "Dude, first of all, you're the only person that's ever gotten the money. This happens all the time." Oh, I left one part out. After he said all those words, he said, you know, "And what do you think about that?" And I said, "Thank you very much. Have a happy Thanksgiving." And then I hung up the phone. That's how it ended. And then the bar guy gave us the money and he said, "You're the only guy that ever got the money. However, I want to go home. So whatever we can do to help you break your shit down, like we got to wrap it up because we're like an hour and a half past closing." Yep. So that was my story of
That's a
TV,
slow clap. That's a slow clap right there.
TV against the Russian mafia.
That you got some balls. I am very impressed and proud of you
Thank you. I was very proud
for
of myself too because I was the only one that ever got the money. After finding that out, that he said they do this to the bands all the time, and after like a half an hour, people just give up and say, "All right, just give me the money and f you. I'm not coming back
especially
here
the
again."
drummer with the big kit that has to take a lot of time to put everything into cases and
Oh
haul
yeah,
everything out.
yeah.
So yeah, good for you, man. That's a great example. I want to. George said it. That's classic. He loved it.
That was a
Um,
long time ago, but that was my fond memory of just blindly just getting screwed. Like the guy just not wanting to pay us. It wasn't because we didn't draw or there was any type of problem. The guy was like, "I just didn't like your band, and I'm not paying you."
that is the opposite of embarrassing. All right,
Mm.
let's see what else we got here. Michael said my bassist.
Oh.
So I don't know if he's trying to be funny or if that's a real issue there.
I played the bass twice sitting on the dock of the bay when I was supposed to be playing the Joker. I was so confident I was playing the right one. I had argued with Jane about it, only to find out I was wrong.
They're both in the same key. Well, Joker is actually an F. I don't even know. I think Joker's in F, and sometimes bands play it in an F, and sometimes bands play it in G. But Dock of the Bay is in G.
Mm.
So, um, so he might have been still in the right key, but I would have to try to run these songs both in my head at the same time and see if they would line up somehow. I don't think so. um, yeah, no. So that's a tough break there, Samuel. But you learned something. Uh, Tana said tripping over a monitor. I've definitely done that.
Oh,
Fell on stage. That was my big embarrassing story I've told before. I don't need to tell it again.
Dave Sloan, I played.
Played. Uh,
Playing a bar in Aspen, Colorado, Barbie Benton shows up. Well,
ooh.
strumming along on autopilot, and the song ends. I was enjoying the fantasy with Barbie and kept strumming. I think they all knew where my head was, including Barbie. She had a big grin. She knew.
Hell yeah, Barbie Benton. I mean, I don't know what year this was. I mean, if it was Barbie Benton 2 years ago, that's not impressive. But if it was Barbie Benton 30 years ago,
That's
when she
funny.
was like Playboy model and stuff, then yeah, there you go. I mean, everybody would understand. Uh, you know, you're just in some bar in Colorado. There's Barbie Benton. That's the edge.
Hmm.
John said introducing a song and then forgetting the chords. Thomas Hart falling backwards on my drum throne mid song after someone spiked the drinks they bought for the band. Oh boy. One consolation, the waitress that served us the drinks felt so bad she took me home and rocked me to sleep. What? I don't know if I believe that. Unless it was the waitress was his girlfriend or his wife.
Or she spiked it just to get him.
Right. Uh, that's 400 and some odd comments here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm trying to get back to where I was
Got
left off
great,
here.
great engagement on this one. There you go. You just passed it. We're here.
Good. I'm glad you're paying attention here.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. For people who listen to the audio podcast, by the way, you can watch this. We are on video right now, live streaming, but you can watch the replay on the Cover Band Central Facebook page, in the Cover Band Central Facebook group, or on the Cover Band Central YouTube channel. There's a link in the description too. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the bell so you know when we're going live.
Nice.
So you can see all this stuff that we're seeing right now. Okay, so I got to go back down. There we go. Okay. Rob Walsh said I missed a note once, which is great. I love that. That means that is the only time
And he only missed one, so that's not bad.
he missed a note. Justin fell off the drum riser. That seems to be a common thing, huh, there, Tony?
Oh, I don't know. I've never fallen off the drum riser backwards. I've never done that.
5 feet up, flat on his back.
Yeah, that
5 feet?
yeah, last note of last song. That must have hurt.
That would break your spine. 5 feet. Jack fell down the steps. Darren fell off the stage. A lot of falling.
Yeah.
Uh, James just said just one, and Bob said just one. Yeah, just one. Pick one. I'm not going to ask for all of them. Wait, James invited on stage with Prince as an enthusiastic audience member, he probably meant to say, and
Yeah.
dancing on stage trying to look cool when the maracas given to me by Ida Nielsen, his bass player, slipped out of my hand and hit me square in the eye. Cue watering eyes and evaporated any sense of cool. Well, I don't know, James. Just the fact that you were on stage with Prince
That's pretty impressive just in
gives
itself.
you that's completely sense of cool. So, you hit yourself in the face. That's okay.
A lot of falling
Larry
off the stages tonight.
Larry fell off stage. Not his fault though. Some chick gave him a couple shots of 198 proof Everclear. Yeah, but did she make you drink it, Larry? No, it's your fault. You drank
Uh-huh.
it. Now they're fell going up the stairs, which is a great fall down when you're running
Especially
up
if you
the.
have a guitar strapped to you or a bass and you fall onto it.
Oh,
Bling, bling.
Rattle and Hum. I think that's a U2 tribute. Said, "Ripped the seat of my pants, then proceeded to convert them into shorts."
Yeah, smart.
So, Lynn said a light stand with 4-par 56 lights fell over on me. Luckily, I was headbanging and didn't see it coming. Glenn played Bad Moon Rising in G. I don't know what the key of that song is, so I guess it's not G.
Guy set his hair on fire right here.
Was that the cigarette?
Greg Coolbrith smoking a butt on stage and lit himself on fire.
Good times, he said.
Fire.
Guitar fell off the strap. I've had that happen, man. The strap just all of a sudden, poof,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've never had it hit the ground. He said it caught it before he hit the ground. I've never had it.
I
My
remember
bass
playing
hit the ground.
a high school talent show, and the kid that was in the band before us at the end of the last song was like chicka jang, and he put his hands up like like in victory, like both hands and fists over his head, and same thing. His guitar fell off and was like on the ground.
Ugh, that's worse.
Yeah, not a good look.
Uh,
First show we played, we weren't on the bill. We just set up and played.
Whoops.
Let me
I
just show up.
love that.
Let me show up and pretend.
The first show we played.
Let me gig bomb your gig.
And what did you learn from that, John? To confirm your booking, I
Yes.
hope. That's rough.
Yeah. No.
And how do you say that name? Dueno?
Dwayno Richards.
Dueno Richards? No extra strings. And I guess he broke a couple strings. I had to play without the G and the B for the last 2 sets. That's
Wow.
rough. So you have your E, your A, your D, and then you have blank spaces and a high E. So he was probably just playing, bar chords with the first 3 strings. Power went off halfway through the evening, took a break at the pub, came back, power still off, packed up by torchlight and went home, Diane said. I don't know if that's embarrassing. That's not your fault. Guitarist fell off stage. He was fired. Whiz Jazz said my mic gone off at a verge. What's a verge? Luke broke a string on the first chord. I played a gig here in New Orleans, like soon after I was here, and the drummer counted off the song. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and he would hit his snare. That was the first hit of the song, and the snare head broke.
I did that with a bass drum head. First note of a song. 2, 3, 4, crash in, and the bass drum beater goes right through the head. 2, 3, 4, shh, cymbals, no bass drum. And it's
That's
through the
great.
head, so it's stuck in there. Luckily, I had a double bass kit, so I played left-footed bass until I could switch out the head.
Robbie messed up the whole song.
Robbie.
Stefan said, I'm a drummer. I started the wrong groove for a song with a much slower tempo. That happens all the time. I play a lot, so that happens all the time because Jason doesn't play the right. I'm just kidding. It does happen, though. That happens quite a bit. Losing my air guitar, said Pete.
A patron barfed a pitcher of beer on me from the knees down. Bar owner
Oh,
scolded me for hurting his feelings publicly.
oof.
There you go. All power to sound system cut out. Cue 5-minute drum solo. I've been there. We blew up. We had breakers blow on a gig one time. It was the same thing. The guy was like, I'm going to need a couple minutes to fix this and figure it out. Drum solo time.
There was a night here in New Orleans. I was playing up River Street, and the power went out like in the entire city. Something happened. I don't know. Transformer got hit by lightning or something, and it was raining. And there's bands playing, and Bourbon Street, all of a sudden, just dark. And I, packed up
drum circle,
and I packed. Well, I think the drummer probably kept playing a little bit, but I packed up my stuff and just walked down the street. And there was this band playing, and they were like a kind of like a funk blues band, and I could hear him from the distance because there was no other sound. Everything was out, and so I could hear him far away. So I'm walking towards it, and I go to the club, and it's this dude playing saxophone and a drummer, and they're both just jamming, and everybody's got their cell phones with the flashlights on it, and aiming it towards the stage.
Yeah,
and
right.
They just were killing it. They were just absolutely slaying anything I've ever heard. It was just unbelievable. It was a magical moment. It was one of the most magical moments here I've had in New Orleans that happened, like where I was just like, wow, that was absolutely incredible. So
Awesome.
it was like, yeah, so it was really cool that the power went out, or else that I would have never experienced that. All right, what else we got? Right. Oh, Steve had a heart attack at a practice. That's not embarrassing.
Oh, that's.
But I'm sorry, Stephen. I hope you're okay. Yeah, Carl said completely mind blanking when it came time for a solo. Trying to remember on the fly.
And having be a million times worse than if I didn't play at all.
Right. Sometimes I'll do that. If I don't know what I'm doing, I just stop. I just stop playing. I'd rather stop playing than play something wrong. Oof. In church, no less, Del Carroll Jones playing trumpet and second valve tuning slide popped out into the aisle whilst playing. John had his amp blow up halfway through the first set. Joe
Drummer
said the
didn't
drummer.
show up. Wow.
Yeah.
Played it anyways.
Played the gig anyway.
Me and my bandmates getting thrown out of the venue at the interval.
Oh boy. So that's not like your band didn't play great songs and I'm not paying you. That's
No.
like, get the fuck out of here. You guys are
Yeah,
did something wrong.
No, yeah, or like you said during the break, they did something where the bar guy was just like, out now, immediately, pack up your shit and leave.
Charles said I could write a book starting with suffering a kidney stone attack in the middle of a set and bolting the stage early for the emergency room. Yikes.
Ouch. Yeah, that's painful.
I've never had it. I never want it.
Drink a lot of water.
I do. All right, we saw that. Oh, what? Steven said, drunk woman falling into a tall cocktail table in front of the stage and splashing hot candle wax in my face.
Oh,
The ride to the ER was nice. My goodness.
wow,
Hot
that's rough.
candle wax in your face?
Yeah, wow.
See, I hit a few more comments, then I have to scroll all the way up to get to where I was.
Mm,
Uh,
there you
okay,
go, right
that's where
there.
we were. Okay. Uh, drinking, another drinking one. That's funny. Mike stand wouldn't stay put and slowly lowered as I played and sang Radioactive by Imagine Dragons until I was nearly squatting. Oh man, I've had that too, man. We're on my mic. Maybe not the whole stand was lowering, but just the mic itself um, was doing like just a slow like, and I'm playing and I can't stop it. That's funny
Yeah,
when
that
that
happens
happens.
sometimes, especially like if I'm drumming and singing, sometimes the mic is too low, and you can't just keep time and pick it up because the whole stand moves. So you have to
Right.
stand on the stand with your hi hat foot while keeping the groove, adjust the thing up, and then keep it going. That is very much of a hassle.
Oh boy. Um, I said if I had the chance to go back and do it all again, I would not choose Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. That's a solution, Mark. There you go. It was the wrong song.
I was a
Uh,
roadie. Some punter came up on stage and started to sing with the act. I ran on, picked him up, and bustled him off. I was giving him an earful when the music stopped, and I heard on the system, Mick, it's okay. He's with us. He's our friend.
mm, this is too long to read. Jason's fly was down the whole gig. Like nobody
Excellent.
told him during the whole
I
gig that
guess
like,
not.
hey, dude,
Maybe nobody noticed.
yeah, you got your guitar in front of you, so it's not that bad.
This guy had a meltdown from not taking his meds on stage. Interesting.
Oof. Gunshi played a wrong note. Very shameful. Carlos sang a wrong note.
That guy was slam dunking money in the tip jar and broke the jar, exploded.
Oh, I missed that. You read that quick.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's rough. Lewis, a lady drunk dancing, fell into the guitar's amp. The amp comes down towards me. Our manager got there in time to save me, but it took out half his drum set.
Ah,
Only egos were hurt. Yeah,
six
drunk
bottle
people.
caps, six bottle caps in the tip jar.
That's funny. Yeah, drunk people at gigs are an
Woo.
occupational hazard.
Oh god, I could tell you a dozen times people have fallen into the band, you know,
Hmm.
crashed into either the singer or the drums or everyone.
Marco was playing in France at the end of the concert. He said a big thank you to all the staff of, and he named a place that was not that place.
Ah,
He said the wrong thing. Like thank you Detroit when he was in uh,
yeah.
Texas. Chris played a gig a few years back for 7 people and a dog, and he put a picture up to prove it.
There it is, and the dog's sitting at the bar. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Dogs have rights too.
They play
Nicholas,
cards, they can definitely drink.
they can play cards. Yeah, I have a painting on my wall that proves it.
Yeah, shows it. Sure.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah. Playing in a small bar with literally everything plugged in the same breaker, lights, beer, fridges. First song, count 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, complete blackout. We had to use only our stage amps and the monitors as a PA.
Oh,
Monitors as a PA.
that's
I've
rough.
been there too.
Whew.
Power outage.
A lot of power outages I've observed.
Yeah. So I don't know if that really falls under embarrassing. Embarrassing is more like, stuff that you were responsible for.
Absolutely.
So like the falling off the stage kind of thing. That's your thing. You did that.
Setting your hair on fire,
Yeah. and drinking too much. Walking in the bar, pouring tequila shots from the bottle and singing Mas Tequila. I failed to see the ceiling fan above me and caught a full splitting blade dead in the
Oh,
forehead. Oof. Knocked me off the bar. Good thing it is I didn't spill the bottle and didn't miss the lines of the song. See, there you go. Had a nice bruise on the forehead for a couple of weeks, a couple of bumps of bruises everywhere. Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten conked by a ceiling fan, but
no, I can't say I have either, thankfully.
yeah, that'll leave a mark. Gary West said they changed the venue. I've had that happen too. You show up to a venue and that's not the place you're supposed to be playing. It was a different venue.
Uh,
Pamela walked backwards off the stage. So she was like, I guess, performing and walking around. And
back and it fell off.
Michael got food poisoning, threw up while I was playing drums.
Scotty Sachs there looks like he's doing something. Fell off the stage, strutting across the stage, and walked right off, landing on my face on the dance floor. However, he did keep singing and never missed a word.
Everybody says that, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't miss a beat. Yeah, James subbed with another band. I realized they're drop tuned while he was in standard. Again, an out of tune thing. I love the out of tune thing. That's one of my favorites. It just makes me laugh every time. Tosi forgot cymbals, so played drums without brass.
That's rough.
So let's see. While playing Lights by Journey, the place went completely black as the singer sang the first line of the song. Interesting.
Go back up for a second. Read the one about the guy right there. Eric Bronsweld. I'm a solo and was playing a restaurant bar in the dining section, but I could be heard easily in the bar. I had just finished the chorus of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, of which I nailed every note vocally, and heard thunderous applause from the bar section. That was the end of my set, so I went out to the bar to thank them for their support, only to notice that the Philadelphia Flyers were on the TV playing in the Stanley Cup, and that's what they were cheering about.
Yeah, that's always funny too when people are cheering about stuff that's not
even
that's
relevant
not
to what
you.
you're doing. They're not even paying attention to you.
All right, that's good stuff. We enjoy going through those and having a laugh at ourselves. We don't need to take this all so seriously. It is, there's certain things you want to take seriously, but not everything. And it's important to be able to laugh at ourselves and each other in good fun.
So spend the $7 and get the book. This way you get the course and you can get more gigs and then you can add more embarrassing moments to your career.
Yeah. So you got so get them to the show. It's out now. The link is in the description. Check it out. I'll show it again here on the screen. What it looks like. But I did put a lot of work into this, and it's gonna help you out. It's gonna help you elevate your game online, no doubt about it. Money back guarantee. Here you go, 100% satisfaction. 60 days, you get to use it for your $7 investment. What did you say? Coffee and a donut for $7?
That's it. Coffee and a donut, $7.
It's great. It will help you understand the algorithm, how it works, what you can do to work with it. I say beat it in here, but what I really mean is to work in harmony with it. You don't want to resist what it is because it is a thing. So you want to understand what it is and know how to play nice with it. And that's what I kind of teach you in this micro course. It is a little bit of work to do. You go through, you read it, you do kind of the exercises and you could start right away and you'll see a difference very quickly. So link is in the description. Make sure you get it and check it out. Money back guarantee. You can always get your money back. So $7 investment. Simple.
Nice.
All right. So this was great. It's great to be back, and hopefully we'll be back sooner than 3 weeks from now.
Yeah. Do it.
But good times. Keep those embarrassing moments coming, and laugh at yourself, have fun, and
enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey. We'll see you next time.
control.